Hey guys, it's Mary Rose from PsychicSoulmateReading.com. This video is a 3-card tarot reading for our week, April 29th to May 6th. And the cards that I'm working with are the Star Tarot. I love this deck. I've had it for maybe about a couple of years now, and yeah, it's one deck that I always grab off my bookshelf and I just dabble with it because there's just like, it's so mystical. It just has like everything in it, fairies, angels, unicorns, everything. I just love it. And yeah, how it works is because you've landed on my channel, that the reading and the message is intended for you. You were intended to listen to this, to the messages that I'm guided to give you. And even if you're watching this after that date, don't worry, because the message is still intended for you, even if you're watching it like maybe a couple of years later. It doesn't matter. I've been doing this for a really long time, and I used to do this on YouTube all the time, and I always got the same response. It's like, how did you know? And it's been like a year later, and you know, the message is always intended for you. Okay, so that's how spirit guides work. And maybe if some things are not completely resonating with you, no worries, just visit back, because maybe something has to happen into your life and unfold for the reading and the message to take effect. That's the way it works. And if it isn't resonating, keep visiting back, because you'll notice that there is something else that maybe you didn't hear before that you're hearing now. You'll always learn something new. I always encourage my students to record their readings, because they may have listened, but yet they didn't, like, something had to unfold in their life, and maybe they listened to it a couple months later and they're going like, wow, you know, that makes more sense now than when it did when you told me. So it's all good. That's how it works. Okay. And okay, so I've already shuffled the cards. I've gotten dived into the reading to make this reading, not this message, this video, not so long and lengthy, just so you can get right to the point. Okay. That's the way I'm doing them now. Just a little bit more short and sweet, if I can not talk so much and chat, because I just love to chat. Okay. And so the first card we got was the Queen of Pentacles. Sorry, my light is a bit bright. And the Queen of Pentacles is a stable card. She's all about stability. But there's one thing about the Queen of Pentacles, is that there's a bit of restriction on her. She tends to put herself in a box. She tends to be very limiting. She tends to make herself feel like she's not opening herself up to horizons and to things that are open. She's very closed. She's kind of looking at things through, like, you know, blinders on. Okay, and so that is what is going on right now. Perhaps maybe you have been feeling a bit restricted, and you've been feeling like uneasy and unable to get your point across, or you've been feeling like, why can't I get anything open? Why can't I say it? Why do I feel restricted? Or why is somebody making you feel restricted? Because sometimes another person, you know, they're not saying anything to you, but just their energy kind of makes you think, well, what are they thinking of me? I'm afraid of them. It's kind of like we make up these stories in our mind. We make up these stories that that something is like, they're looking at us in a very negative way, or we're going to be seen as, you know, just not where we want to be. It's just our minds making it up. I can't even explain it into words, because it's just the energy that I feel is just, it's so untrue. It's like you have more to offer. You have more to, like, there's so much more that you can give and you can receive. It's like there's so much, and you need to put yourself out there. That's really what it's saying. It's like, you know, go for it. I know I said that in my previous reading, just go for it. Well, this is going right back to that, and you got to just know that you can do it. It's like you're making yourself feel that you can. It's like, it's kind of like being uptight. It's an uptight energy. I always see it as, like I said, all work and no play. And maybe you've been feeling like that. And yeah, we have some influences going on with the planets, okay? I know we do have, actually, well, today is the 29th, so Saturn goes retrograde, okay? And I know we went through Jupiter, and we went through Pluto retrograde in April, sorry. And so now it's like we're actually feeling, seriously, this is all coming, bringing everything up to the surface. So we're not releasing that. We're actually holding it down. It's kind of like you're putting yourself in a tight container, you know, and you need to you need to expand yourself. You need more expansion. You need to put yourself in a larger container. You need to set your horizons to larger. You need to use that, that intention that you are enough and you have everything that you need. And that's my favorite affirmation that I always say. And so we're going into May, and May is all about abundance 555, you know, like it's actually like May 5th, that's like the magical day. May 5th is like your day to set intentions, manifestation, but actually the whole month of May. So I encourage you to get out there and just, get out of the shell, get out of your shell. It doesn't matter. Just use those intentions that you are enough and that you have everything that you want. Set, sky's the limit. You know what I mean? Just go for it, right? Okay. So the second card is the Death card. And I know it looks gruesome and it looks scary, and a lot of us are afraid of death, okay? And you know what it means? This card in the tarot card, it does not mean physical death by any means. It actually represents the end of something. Something that is ending in your life, something that's changing, going through a dramatic transformation, a transition. You're switching from one thing to the next. And you may have been feeling like there's been a bit of restrictions, and like I was talking about the Queen of Pentacles, and you may have been feeling that. Well, you're changing, you're going into a new universe, but that's only going to happen if you set those intentions. That's only going to happen if you put those intentions that you want to change, that you want to be better than ever. You want to be like, I'll just give you an example. I want to be in the best shape of my life, and I said that, and I've been working on those intentions because I always, I think if you don't have good health, then what is life worth living if you don't have good health? Because health is wealth, and, it's part of it. And it's like, when you have good health, you know what? Your quality of living is just so much better. I'm not talking about trying to look a certain way. No, I'm talking about, because that happens on the inside. How we look on the outside is what's going on the inside. And, I truly believe that, food and exercise, that's our medicine. I'd rather spend extra time in my day planning my meals and exercising, working out, deep breathing, meditating, doing all those things, stretching, because when you do that, you actually increase your prana, your energy force, your life force, and you actually live a bit more happier life, and you feel less, it's kind of like taking a shower, like how do you feel when you don't take a shower? You're like, ew, so when you do those things for yourself, I know, I'm not here to talk about health, but I am. Okay, so it's kind of like when you do something for yourself in that way, you know what? You actually feel more freer. You actually get out of the Queen of Pentacles. Now, it can also represent to a man too as well. It's like, it's not just for women this reading for. So I know, don't get discouraged if you hear me talk about the Queen so much, because it's just the energy of that archetype, of that card. So you are going through a transition, but you need to put that energy out there to take advantage of the effect. And you know what? Stop judging yourself. Stop judging. And when you judge, you actually judge yourself. When you judge yourself, you're judging everything around you. So, I see a lot of that. I see a lot of people comment and say things, and they're being hard on themselves. And, you're only doing it to yourself, And so sometimes when we're having a bad day, we tend to get really like, like just really negative. And what happens is that everything else around us, we create more fear, we create more experiences for ourselves to be negative. You don't want that. So change yourself, change your life, change everything. It just starts by just doing one little thing for yourself. And I know I always say this, and I'm going to say it until I turn blue, because I know that there's going to be new people watching, and I know that you're going to be watching this again, but you forgot. You're like, yeah, I said, Mary, I was going to do that before, and I had plans on doing that, and I didn't do it. But you know what? Just get back on the horse and do it. You know what? And we have to surround ourselves with positive people. We have to be around I'm not ordering you guys. I'm just saying, you just need to surround yourself with like-minded souls and just be the best as you can be. And that's even your social media, going on social media too. So, don't go into the gossipy stuff. Don't go into the negative. Try not to, because, it just interferes with your energy, and it makes you spiral downward, and you don't understand why you're feeling that way. And even watching like certain TV shows and movies, and like I'm talking about horror movies, like the kind that's just, I don't want to talk about it, like just really scary. You don't want to watch scary things. You don't want to watch the news. I know a lot of people will argue with me on that about the news, and I'll argue back, because honestly, the news only just creates more drama into our life. And so yeah, I set intentions to show me what I need to know. And you know what? My guides always show me what I need to know. If there's anything important, just don't overdo it. That's all I'm just saying, okay? And the third card is the Emperor, which is leadership, having more control than you realize. So to have all of this, to have this control, you need to take a stand for yourself. You need to stand up, step up to the plate and start doing. There is no try, there's do, just like Yoda said. I just watched the new Star Wars. I know maybe it's been out for a while, but I just watched it and I loved it. Didn't see much of my favorite, which was Yoda. I think it was Return of the Jedi. No, it was the Return of the last Jedi. That's what it was. And yeah, so like like I said, there is no try, there's do. That's what Yoda says in Star Wars. One of the seasons, one of the shows, one of the Star Wars movies. Sorry, I'm just in 5D right now. When I do readings, I'm kind of like in a different zone, so different from 3D. Anyways, you know what? You just got to take a stand for yourself and take that first step. That's all it is. It's just taking that first step. And even if it pertains to love, if you want to find love into your life, you got to take that first step. You got to be very open and be very honest with yourself. You got to ask yourself what is it that I'm just, what's holding me back? Like, why am I feeling so held back? What's going on with me? Why do I feel like I'm lost? Why do I feel like this person is not responding to me? This person is distant from me? Or I'm just giving you one example, something that comes to mind. And you know what? There's something that you need to do in your energy field to change that. Because when you do something in your own personal energy field, and if you're having a difficulty with a relationship, that's a reflection of what's going on with you. So you need to look at what is that person reflecting back, even if that person's MIA, or even if you can't find that right person. You need to know that there's something going on with that life, with your life right now, something that you need to be doing, something that you need to step up into the plate. And also with divine masculine, divine feminine, you know what I mean? Like when it comes to the divine masculine and the divine feminine, you got to know that your other half is there looking for you, just like you're looking for them. So, what you're seeking is seeking you. Okay. And all you got to do is look at yourself first and say, take a good hard look at yourself in the mirror and say, what do I need to do? What do I need to do about myself? What is it? And you know what? Write it down. Right? You got to dive deep into it. You got to dive deep. Even if it's negative, it's okay. And I know I said not to judge yourself. Well, you need to get it out in the open. You need to get a good cry, let it all out. Look at yourself and say, okay, so this is what I'm feeling. This is what's happening. This is what's going on. Dive deep. And then just, take a deep breath and just meditate a little bit. And then you'll come out to the top. You'll say, oh, I get it. You spiral back upwards. And, it's just finding the things that are holding you back. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about to have a pity party here. No, I'm not saying to have a pity party and feel sorry for yourself. I'm talking about looking at yourself, taking a hard look. What are you in denial of? And if you're holding on to someone that is not right for you and that's toxic, codependency relationship is very, very common. Trust me, I know it. I know it. I had it in the past. I know what that's like. And, it's just easy to stay there, not to change. But you need to take yourself out of the denial phase and look at yourself, look at the truth, see the truth. And when you see the truth, everything will turn around, I promise you. Okay? Yeah, all you have to do is just step up to the plate. That's what the Emperor says. Take the leadership, be the leader into your life, and you have everything that you need. Okay? So I hope that this reading was helpful for you. And if you're interested in getting a longer reading, go visit my website, psychicsoulmatereading.com. And don't forget to subscribe to my newsletter. If you subscribe now, you can get 10% off your first reading, and then you can just sign up and book an appointment with me. I have an app that's on my site that you can just book the time and everything. It's all calculated, even if you're in a different time zone, even if you're in all the way in different Australia. The time will be calculated to you, my schedule, and to what you can, like what's available, and it'll be calculated to your time frame. Okay, time zone. Okay, and so till the next video, I wish you guys peace, blessings, love, and light. Happy week.